Did we possibly witness the greatest SummerSlam of all time? SummerSlam 2024, a lot of great things happening. I was there personally live in the crowd. The experience was out of this world, man, and I'm sure watching on TV was just as fun. So let's break down SummerSlam 2024 and let's talk about all the positives. But before we start, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment below, turn on the notifications for this YouTube channel to be updated with all pro wrestling content and to be updated on the No Name Wrestling Podcast when we go live every Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern time zone. You don't want to miss it. So let's dive into it, man. I'm going to talk about my experiences and a lot of the pros and cons from SummerSlam 2024, and there aren't many cons, to be honest. Rhea versus Liv, best storyline going into SummerSlam, if you ask me. There were a lot of Liv Morgan fans, not all, but a lot of fans for the last couple years that were really gassing her up and trying to put her on a pedestal that she didn't belong in, like trying to say she was on the same level as a Becky Lynch, a Charlotte Flair, a Bianca Belair. I heard these conversations throughout social media. I'm like, bro, y'all have to relax. Liv Morgan has potential, but she is not that. Liv Morgan has shown me a lot, man. I'm really invested into her character. This is the most I've ever been invested into Liv Morgan throughout her entire career. You know, Rhea Ripley's a top star. I've been a big fan of her since I saw her in the Mae Young Classic. And then Dom has evolved into such a great heel. And I mean, the ending was sensational, if you ask me. That, to me, besides the Roman Reigns return, was the best part of SummerSlam. Liv and Dom is just more interesting than Rhea and Dom. Rhea and Dom has run its course, and Liv and Dom just adds more spice. And the fact that he kissed her, tongued her right in front of Rhea Ripley, whew. Hey, man, listen. One of the most dangerous things on earth is a woman with a broken heart. And Dom, I mean, Dom's got it coming, man. But you know what? Let's pay respect and let's pay, tribute to Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. It was fun while it lasted. Man, Braun Breaker got that dog in him. He got that dog in him, man. Braun Breaker has what I've been saying for a long time. It factor. He has the total package. He has everything you could ask for in a WWE superstar. He's destined for greatness, man. Braun Breaker is literally one of my top 3 favorites in the company right now. I fully believe in this guy, and him winning the IC title was the right decision. There was one guy that I said in my prediction video that needs to win more than anybody on SummerSlam, and that was LA Knight. He needed to win more than anyone on the card because they've been building him up for about a year. His momentum and his steam is still there. The fans are still behind him, and he continues to get more over. And if he had lost to Logan Paul, he might have been cooked, man, because, Logan Paul's from Cleveland, but you might not even have known that if you don't even watch wrestling or don't know nothing about Logan Paul because they booed his ass out of the stadium, bro. So LA Knight finally wins the U.S. title, and I think he's definitely going to help that mid-card division in SmackDown, which desperately needs help. Bayley versus Nia, I think, was a surprise for some people. I don't know if many people expected that match to be as good as it was, but I thought it was a pretty solid match, and Nia Jax winning was the right decision. It solidifies the Queen of the Ring, more of an important factor for WWE moving forward. And Nia Jax has been cooking, man. She has a presentation that she was missing back, in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, around that time frame when Vince was still in charge. Like, he didn't really present Nia the way she needed to be presented, and I think Triple H has done a very good job of booking Nia Jax, and now she's the women's champion, and a lot of people I think are okay with that. Like, in 2024, if you would have said Nia Jax would have come back and people would be okay with her being the champion, nah, I would have said you're crazy. I love the small details within this match. This was the best storytelling, match of the night to me by far. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. Look at the gear for an example. I talked about the small details. Going back to SummerSlam 1997. Bret Hart versus The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. You could see right there CM Punk is rocking the Bret Hart gear. Shawn Michaels, has a bit of a, cut off sleeve with the referee shirt on. Seth Rollins kind of rocking that with his own kind of, pedaz to it. And then Drew McIntyre, kind of repping the Undertaker gear in his own fashion too. So that was pretty dope. They even kind of redid a spot in there with that steel chair too. So that was awesome to see, and love the storytelling within this match. Seth Rollins didn't really have an arm in this fight, to be honest, because he hates both guys. So for him, it wasn't going to matter who wins. But now the storyline continues to progress. It continues to get personal, and I'm interested to see where it goes from here. Because CM Punk just ain't going to lie down and let Drew McIntyre get that victory. He's still going to come for Drew McIntyre and try to get his revenge too. And Seth Rollins also wants to get rid of CM Punk too, but also has issues with Drew McIntyre. So this is a fun story to watch, man. They've kept this story alive when Seth Rollins was injured, when CM Punk was injured, and Drew McIntyre was the only guy there. All hail the King General. I try to do it like Ludwig Kaiser, but I can't do it like him, man. He does it specially, man. Gunther is the world heavyweight champion. Damian Priest, to me, is on his way to being a solidified main event star. He continues to get over, man, as a babyface, which is crazy. He's getting bigger and bigger reactions week by week, and going to this feud now with Finn Balor, turning on him. He's going to continue to get more over as a babyface, and Gunther is a full Triple H guy, bro. That story has been told since Gunther signed with WWE back when he was Walter. Look at NXT UK. Gunther was longest reigning NXT UK champion for 2 years. Triple H puts the IC title on Gunther, makes him the longest reigning Intercontinental champion and the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time. And now he's the World Heavyweight champion. And Gunther gonna be holding that bitch for a minute. You can best believe that, because Gunther has been champion majority of his time in WWE. He doesn't have short championship reigns. He puts on good matches. He's physical in the ring. His style is very old schoolish. He's like a man's man. I think Undertaker said that on his podcast. He likes Gunther because he's like a man's man. He's very old school. His style is very old school. He's hard hitting. He's not flashy. He just is an old school type of guy. Old school moveset, old school gear, old school presentation. He brings a different vibe and aura that many people on the roster don't bring, which makes him stand out and makes him very unique. So Gunther's a superstar, man. He's a superstar. After this World Championship run, it's going to solidify him to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. And of course, the main event, listen, we all were waiting for that beat to drop with Roman Reigns music, and I wasn't a fan of him keeping his WrestleMania, theme. I like the OG, Tribal Chief theme song, but maybe this new babyface needs a different theme. I don't know, but that was just, a random thought I want to throw out there. However, man, Cody and Solo did their thing. I do feel like people have been sleeping on Solo a lot during the feud with Cody, even before that, leading up to everything. I feel like they were always kind of overlooking Solo and not really giving him the respect that he really deserves. Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga Tongaloa add a lot to the bloodline as well. And then Cody Rhodes is top guy right now as far as being the champion and everything. So, this was a fun match to watch, but the anticipation of the Roman Reigns comeback was the biggest part of it, which I think might have downgraded the match for some people because they were just waiting for Roman Reigns to show up and they couldn't really fully enjoy the match because they were just waiting for that man to show up. And how crazy is it to say in 2024 that Roman Reigns would turn babyface and the fans would actually want it compared to what he was 6-7 years ago as the big dog, man. Roman Reigns has evolved and overcome so much with his gimmick. And I'm not going to lie to you, if he's able to go on a run as a babyface without a championship, kind of similar to what he did as a heel, Roman Reigns could be pushing top 5 all time in WWE history. That may be a hot take for some people, but I got to be realistic, man. To me, he's already the greatest world champion in WWE history. When he was on a part-time, full-time schedule, he checks off all the boxes from character work, from match quality, shock value, from presentation, helping, bring others along the way to uplift them in the feud, promo ability, everything Roman Reigns could ask for to be a world champion at the top level. He checked off every single box and did it consistently, bro. He's the greatest world champion in WWE history to me. I don't think he ever has to be the world champion again because I don't know how he possibly could even top the reign that he just came off of. But to me, he's already top 10 all time. He's had a top 10 career, and if he's able to finally have the babyface run that WWE really wanted him to have years ago, and he's able to do it with the immaculate storytelling that he did as a heel, having great matches like he did as a heel, having shock value like he did as a heel, if he's able to bring everything that he was able to bring as a heel just now as a babyface and have that type of run, he really could be pushing a top 5 WWE superstar of all time. And some people may not want to admit it because somebody's going to have to come out. But somebody going to have to move then. That's just how it's going to have to be, man. Somebody going to have to bump out, bro, because Roman Reigns could be pushing that narrative, man. And I'm excited to see what this babyface run looks like, man. The Bloodline storyline is the storyline that truly keeps on giving. Every single time you thought it was down and it was over, they continue to bring layers on top of it and make it more relevant and make it better every single time, bro. Like, it's just cinema, bro. It really is. I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, this SummerSlam has to be in the conversation of the greatest of all time. I'm not saying it is, but when it comes to structuring the show, they made all the right booking decisions. They had great matches. They had big moments. Big return, like the crowd was satisfied, the people at home watching were satisfied, I believe. So I'm not saying this is the greatest SummerSlam of all time, but I'd be lying to say if this doesn't belong in that conversation, man. This definitely was the best SummerSlam we've had, like consistently from the start to the finish, and I can't even tell you how long. I really can't even tell you how long. So I think this is in the conversation, man. This SummerSlam was epic, especially being there in person tonight. I'll never forget.